Okay. So, we're just we're not I don't know. I just don't know. So, look, I'm still kind of having a day. Um I've had some pretty tense moments throughout this day, and I'm just thinking that I just need to be real careful how I express myself, because oh goodness, whoa, I am just I'm having a time. So I can't get into it because I can't. But suffice it to say, some shit happened today, and I'm not, like, no. Like, no. Okay, don't mind this. Don't mind this. That's a little better. Yeah, that's a little better. Yeah? Okay. Like, this is where we're at right now, okay? This is where we're fucking at. It's not a good space. So we're just like. I don't know if you were here last time. You know that my phone died. I think if you were here, you could probably figure out that's what happened. I was not aware until I looked up and I noticed that my video had stopped. And the counter had restarted. And the counter had restarted because that's just what it does, okay? So here we are. Fucking here we are. All right. I've had some really tense conversations today. Some of the people I had conversations with, I don't have conversations with. Friend had to act as buffer. I've had people try to talk to me today that had like no business talking to me. There were people I tried to talk to today that I didn't get a chance to talk to. And in general, it's just not a great day, right? So let me regale you with today, some of it anyway. So I woke up at 5. I'm off from the day job today because it's my Monday off. All right, awesome. I still was going to get up and do some work. At least that's what I thought. I was incorrect. I woke up and my phone was making this weird, I can't even. Now, I gotta be honest with you. I don't know if this problem started this morning, really early, or started really late last night. And I'm realizing, like, halfway into the day, and I'm like, I don't actually remember when the fuck this started. I know at some point in the morning, I became aware of what was going on. So I have an LG phone. LG does not make phones anymore. They make all kinds of other stuff, but they do not make phones anymore. Now, generally speaking, when somebody stops manufacturing something, their support of that item isn't super great, right? As far as like tech support and stuff like that, right? It's not what it probably was, right? When it was still being actively sold. And apparently this happened a couple of years ago. Right? So fine. All right. I had known that they stopped. Like, I think I heard wind of it, but I didn't really think about anything of it. So apparently something within the LG system just said, hey, I'm not going to work. Well, that something happened to be what controlled your ability to send and receive texts and phone calls. So I figured out that something was wrong because I went to send out my customary text to Bay really early. And I was like, hey, it's super early, but I happen to be awake and I just wanted to say good morning and all that. Right? Which is, I try to send it as soon as I think about it because, usually once I'm up and going, my day kind of flies from me. Well, the message never sent. And I was like, well, that's really weird. That's really weird. And I kept getting this every message and it says, this such and such has stopped working. And I was like, okay, whatever. And at some point I Google the problem and then it clears up, hey, yeah, this is going to make phone calls and texts not happen. And here's a way to solve it. Okay, well, I tried that. I tried that a couple times and I restarted and tried a couple more times. It didn't solve it for me. Okay, nothing I did worked. And then it became apparent to me that not only was that affecting my ability to send texts, it was also going to affect my ability to receive them, as well as make phone calls, as well as receive phone calls. Now, as we all know, I am on this very, very involved job hunt, right? Very involved. Like, I am fucking gung-ho. This is what we're doing. And I'm pouring a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of resources into making this happen. Right. So, it's imperative that goes well. Okay. Because I need to receive communique about this. I need to get phone calls. I need to, I've gotten a few interviews or inquiries that happened because of a phone call or text. So, I need to be reachable. It's Monday. It's my Monday off, which also means it's the day when I was going to do all the things. Okay. So I'm going to cancel my eye doctor appointment because I can't afford to go. I have to find a different provider. I'm going to, catch up with any other people I have to do. I'm going to do all these things. And apparently the answer to that was no, I was not going to do any of those things because my phone said, hey, I'm just going to take the entire day off. So apparently this is the first time this has happened to me, right? But I've had an LG for years. Not specifically only this one, but I've had a few for a good amount of time. This is the first time this has happened for me. Well, let me tell you, it's the last time it's going to fucking happen for me. Because I have zero patience for things not working like they're supposed to. Now, if I didn't have a smartphone, my phone would have been a very expensive paperweight. That's what it would have been. Because I wouldn't have been able to do anything with it at all. Now, I was still able to use various messenger apps and Skype and browse the internet and all these other things. But, the main purpose for a phone to me is to call and text. I can do all those other things on my fucking computer. Okay. Yeah. So I don't need my phone for them. Sure, if I'm away from my computer, that's a fairly convenient place to do it. But I can in fact do all of those things on my computer. So I don't need my phone for it. So, yeah. Now I don't know when this problem is going to be fixed, and I went to Twitter, and I just a little heads up. If you want to find out some skinny on things where you've got like customer service issues and you want to get like a fairly quick answer, Twitter is a pretty good place to go, honestly. You will more than likely get a quicker response there than you will get via email. And a phone call might, may or may not be quicker depending on how widespread the problem is and all this other stuff. Now, if this is like a deeply personal thing, you're best talking individually to a person via the phone, right? But if we're talking about a service outage or something like that, it's a pretty good place to get information. So when I go there, I realize that this is not just me. This is not just my area. This is people all fucking over with these types of phones. And not even just the specific phone that I have, but like any LG phone. And I'm like, oh shit. Well, damn. So, turns out, beyond that, this is not new. This has happened before. It just has never happened to me before, so I wasn't aware of it. And it's, I'm sure, equally infuriating, like every time it's happened. Now, like I said, this is the last time it's going to happen to me, because like I have some pretty staunch expectations, and those are that my life is going to operate a certain way. Like, the things I need to work are going to work, or I'm going to find new things. And so, after trying to get on the website, not being able to because I wanted to send a text to the phone that couldn't get a text to verify I was who I was. After trying to use the app and it glitching out and barring me from getting past the final step. I finally am talking to a friend. I'm wigging out, okay? And friend is like, well, do you want to, video call with me? And I'll call them on the phone. And I'm like, sure. Now, by this time, I've asked friend to like reach out to Bay just to let them know, hey, look, you're not being ignored. I'm having like some severe technical difficulties, and I just wanted you to like know what was up. And if you wanted to talk to me, this is going to be like a better way to do it, because like I can still access this and blah 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 blah. Come to find out, Bay has left the app that we met on behind, which is kind of endearing and adorable, but also, he doesn't strike me as the type to like divide his attention between multiple people in that fashion. And it was kind of precious. I gotta be honest with you. But neither here nor there. Now, I left them on my phone because I'm lazy. And like once I delete an app off my phone, oh, friends, I'm not putting that shit back on there. It's pretty final. Like, pretty fucking final. So I just stop using stuff. Like, until I'm like dead set that no, I absolutely don't need this. And so I had already sent a message, and I said, hey, look, I tried to send you a message, but I don't know what's going on with my phone. And at the time that I sent the message, I was absolutely sure. I was like, I had no idea what was going on my phone. And I just was like, hey, my bad for like giving it your number. I didn't like have another way to like reach out and say, hey, and at the outset of the day, I had no idea how long this was going to be a problem. I didn't know if my phone was just not going to work again. I had no idea. And I'm a plan for the worst case scenario kind of person, right? Be prepared. So don't wait till everything has gone up in smoke and flames to try and put the fire out. Okay? When everything's burnt to a crisp, you're a little late. Just fucking let that shit burn. So we didn't have a whole lot of conversation. But I understand why. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. So, friend is like, okay, do you want me to call them? And I'm like, fuck it. Sure, why not? Like, the worst case scenario, nothing's going to happen. Now, I had already kind of decided by this point that I was going to buy a new phone. I am not in the way of being able to do this. I do not have a choice. I need my phone. I use it for here. I use it for other things. I use it for all kinds of stuff that I need it for, and I cannot have, like, I can't have my stuff not working. Like, I cannot have that happen. So that's not gonna fly with me, right? That's not gonna fly. So we get on the phone, and they wanna conduct the system and the checks and like the verifications a certain way, and because my phone doesn't work right and I'm not in person in front of somebody and I don't have another phone, like I can't do that. So we're having to secondhand all this, and it's very cumbersome. Okay, as one would expect. And all that jazz. And so it finally gets down to it, and all the stuff that this person is telling friend, I am already aware of all this stuff because I've already gone all the way through the process up to buying phone, like an upgrading, short of actually being able to buy the phone. So like I know what the payments are like, I know how much the phone is, I know some of the specs, like the specific specs on the phone, like this is the one I want. Like I know the policies on how they do payment. I know the two options of um, do this or do this. I know I need insurance. Like I know all these things, and look, I know it's the woman's job to like walk people through this and all that. Um, and yeah, absolutely. Don't sure. Um, but I would have volunteered like all this information. Like I would have been like, I know that this is the payment plan. I know this is how long it's for. I know that I want insurance on this. Like I would have just volunteered all that. But anyway, so we got all the way to the end, and she's like, okay, it's gonna be this amount. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I said, first of all, what I want to know is why is it this amount instead of this amount? And I knew why it was, but I wanted to confirm that that's what was going on and that I wasn't misunderstanding something. So here's the thing. When you have a representative help you do something, there are usually fees that are wrapped up in that. Now, usually they're not huge fees, but the fee for this was $30. It was $30 extra to do this thing just for somebody else to press the buttons. I do not think that the person shouldn't be paid. I do not think that they're not doing a worthwhile service. However, I was not in the way to go to a store and do this. I was not in the way to do this through my phone. I already tried. I was not in the way to do this through my computer because I could not verify and get into the account. So the only reason I was talking to a person is because I did not have another choice. Not because I didn't have access to, a computer or the internet. Not because I didn't know how to navigate it. No, it's because of a detail that I had nothing to do with, that I could do nothing about, but I had to abide by. So they waived the fee. It was still 50 cents more than it was supposed to be, which I thought was weird, but whatever. And I said, fine, whatever. Okay. Now she did offer, it's like, oh, we can see if it's local. Now, I got the nicest phone. I got the newest version. I got the largest amount of memory. I knew for a fact that they weren't going to have it in the store, because when I went through my process, the only option it offered was to ship it to me, which is fine. That's fine. But like, as a result, okay, that means I already knew. Like, I already knew that it wasn't an option to do otherwise. And if I had been able to talk to, like, the person directly, I would have been like, I mean, I know that they're not going to have this because these were the options I was given. And so, and generally speaking, that's how it is. You don't get the nicest version and, like, have it in stock. Like, if they have the newest, nicest, the fanciest version, it's usually very limited quantity. And, good luck. Like, you'd have to get there just the right time. But a lot of times they just go with what is going to be the most popular one and keep that one in stock. Or maybe even the least popular one. Anyway. So all this is solved now. Of course, a couple hours later, my phone decides to start working. And I did for like about 5 like nanoseconds. I was like, do you want to just like cancel this charge and just use this phone until it dies? And I'm like, you know what? If it does this shit that it did today again, and I don't know that it will, I don't know that it won't, and I don't want to find out, I'm going to flip out. I'm going to lose my cool. I'm probably going to break my phone. And that's not a great idea because I need my phone. So I decided it was more reasonable for me to just trade in the phone, get a new one, and go on from there. So there we have it. Okay. My day was stressful. And then, of course, I ate a whole pizza. That was a giant mistake. I did go to the gym. I didn't go hard at the gym, but I did go and I did go and up the weights on a few machines in my circuit. So that was a thing. Anyway, way too much excitement, y'all. Like way too much excitement, and not what I planned on doing with my time. Like the worst, really. Like honestly. So that like was a whole bunch of like suck, is what that was. So yeah, that's where we are right now. I don't need that amount of excitement in my life. I gotta tell you, I really could have done without that. And I gotta tell you, while I do like new toys, I'm not gonna overly enjoy setting up a new phone because I feel like I just replaced this phone. Now it might have been last year, okay, but I feel like I had just replaced it, and to have to do it again, damn it, damn it. Not looking forward to that. I gotta be honest with you. So now this is fancy. This is new. The camera's better. There's probably some better features. This style of phone is really old at this point, so it's kind of a dinosaur. And I've got more like space on it, so like that won't be an issue because it's a newer phone. I can get more options as far as like some of the accessories that I want. So like, I mean, everything's a trade-off, and that's fine. But I gotta tell you, I think I would have loved to have a boring ass day. I think so. I really do. So here we are. Just woo now. Yeah. Now, in other news, I have an interview tomorrow morning. I may be able to wrangle another interview from somebody else because apparently I missed a phone call this morning. And thank goodness they left a voicemail, and I called them back and said hi. I had some phone trouble this morning because of this phone. And so I'm just getting this now. And it was like 5 o'clock by the time I got it. So like, obviously I didn't expect to get an answer back. And that phone call was for the position that I could take right away. Okay. I don't think the one I have tomorrow is for a position like that. But while I'm there, like I might, absolutely say, hey, like I've also put in for this, because I know I can get into that position like quicker, because it doesn't require like any kind of certification, and my experience with the field in general will be helpful, theoretically enough to like get me in the door, right? um Now let me just go ahead and tell you, I don't know how long we're gonna make it as far as this, because I have got really low battery. And here's the other thing about the phone. So I did think about keeping it, but I have had a lot of problems with my phone. I have problems with the charger. I have problems with it just keeping a charge. I have had problems with just a lot of different things. And I've got to tell you, I do not know why I am having these problems, but I've had enough of them. Like, so, yeah. So that's gonna happen. And I have to let friend know. I have to let friend know that I possibly have another interview that I can schedule. So yeah, I've been very proactive about this, and I still need to like update my resume on some online platforms, because I've updated my resume, but I haven't updated it there. I also need to tell wife that like she needs to get on it, because I need her to send me her resume, because I need to look it over, and I'm gonna send it to friend and ask for her her opinion, and then ask Bay if he knows anybody, if he had any suggestions, if he didn't mind. um, um, so it's like more thoughts in my brain. We're gonna leave all those there. Those don't need to come out. So if you knew me, you would know what they were, and you would just be like, really? And I'd be like, yeah, that's where we are right now. So what I'm gonna do, actually, we're gonna take a second. You just ogle my sock. I'm gonna hang up my keys. I'm gonna yell at the door spider to stop menacing me. I'm gonna try this thing right here. I don't think it's gonna work. I'm gonna try it anyway. I figure it's not gonna hurt. It just might not do anything. And well, it might not do anything anyway. so okay. So anyway, yeah, way too much excitement, and I gotta be at an interview at 9:30. I need to see if our flat rate's going to be there tomorrow, because depending on some things, I might come in. That sounds like utter like tripe and nonsense, by the way. That's not going to happen. I don't know what kind of like lies I'm spouting right now, but yeah, no, I shouldn't come in. I got the day off though. I deserve it. I also have to use up my time off, because I'm like slowly but surely on my way at the door. And what I don't want to do is not get paid for my time off and have them say, oh, well, we're just going to let you go and you're not going to get your time off, because that would just be really shitty. So yeah. Yeah. So much adventure. So now what might happen, by the way, because I'm a nerd, y'all might hang out with me while I set up my new phone. That might happen. that might happen. It'll just be just chatting, and I'll just be fiddling with the new phone and like setting it up and getting it together and everything. That might happen. I don't know. I've been probably talking out of my ass right now. It's very likely. So, yeah. Oh gosh. This will be the first actually new phone, though, that I've had in years. All of the phones that I've had thus far are the same phone. It's just been replaced. I'm pretty sure this phone was the replacement because I drove off with my phone on top of my car. I was so ready to go that I was not thinking clearly. And I drove off with my phone on top of my car. And that's not usually a place I put it. Like, usually I put it in the console. It's in my back pocket. It's in the passenger seat. Like, those are the places I usually put it. And for whatever reason, because I was just so frustrated and so ready to go, and I was like, I have got to get out of here, like, right now. I didn't do any of those things. And yes. So about that. Yep. Just making stellar choices, people. Just, yeah. Now, the good news is where I'm going and the job I'm going to get into, I don't have to worry about like smashing my phone. I just knocked on wood. That's right. Because I'm not going to be like working in a garage. I'm going to be working in a much safer for electronics, generally speaking, because, you know, liquids and all that. I'm going to be working in a much safer environment. And so that'll be helpful. But so yeah, there we are. Just there we are. I gotta tell you. So the other thing I've been doing is I know I've been telling y'all that I was going to do this, and I kept meaning to do it, and I was going 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 to do it, and I just kept not getting around to it. But one of the things that I have been saying I was going to do is I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to take my gaming that I do. That's super low key. I think I'm gonna put it up on YouTube now, because it's really just me kind of talking out of my ass and fucking about with a game on my phone. I didn't want to put it up on my art channel because that didn't feel like the right place for it to be. Okay. Well, I have a personal YouTube channel. Okay. And so I'm like, you know what? It's just me dicking around, talking shit, which, look, I talk shit here too. But it's like strictly me just rattling on. And I'm like, you know what? We'll just put it over there. So I have been slowly but surely uploading videos onto my personal YouTube channel, like past videos, just to get them all up there, so I'm done. I don't have to worry. I don't have to think about it, and then I can just upload as I go. So there we go. We also got on the ball, and like the latest video that I put up here, I have up on the YouTube. I got it up on the YouTube channel the same night. So whoop-de-doo. Super awesome. Good job, me. And I think now that I've done it once, I can definitely do it again. And that will make it a lot easier, because what will end up happening is, as soon as I'm done with this, I'll export the video. And after it's done exporting, I'll download it to my computer. So I'll have it saved. And I will not have to worry about remembering to do it later. And it'll just be all done. And then voila. So Like, go me. Good job. So, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Okay, I'm getting better. Now, oh gravy. So, here we are. Hello, B. What's up? How are you? You're catching me at about the halfway point. Yeah, I can't wait to be done with these because I want to start the next. You know, I've had a Monday. I've had a very hectic Monday. Hopefully yours was better. How was yours? I've been regaling everybody with the, oh my god, that is my Monday. And welcome to your first time chat here. Oh yeah, started what? Or starting what? For all those following along at home, my name change should be going through soon, by the way. Hooray! Like my actual name change. Like, you know, the name on my license and all that. Yay! I've only been putting that off forever. Yes, and 2 at a time so we don't like make one and get too tired to make another. The major mission of these socks is to tailor every pair of socks a little more so I can get them just right. And once I get the measurements I want just right, then I can just duplicate them right over and over again. That's the goal. So, sock experiment. Yeah. And I'm doing it with all the colors that I either don't like or the really inexpensive sock yarn I have, as opposed to, you know, the cashmere. So that if I do fudge it, you know, it's not a big deal. Although once I get to the leg, which is where I am now, I am like ready to be done. Like, why are these socks not done yet? When it's a sweater, they call it Sleeve Island. It's also a case for working both sleeves at the same time. So, yeah, in the cake, right? That looks really Easter bunny, you know, pastel springy, but it looks very southwestern weird diagonal stripe because you know it's not like a straight diagonal, right? It's like stairs. I am. And yourself? Where do you hail from? I feel like my accent probably gives me away. Although I do have a peculiar manner of speech, which usually just throw people a little bit. Oh. Well, hi from the other side of the world. And welcome, welcome. Yay. I got my heel put in. I'm very excited. I haven't put in a heel for a sock in a really long time, so I absolutely fudged the first half of it. And then it all came back. Oh my gosh, I make that joke too. So, for my Patreon and like other YouTube videos, I will pre-record stuff. So I'm like, this is past me talking to future you. Hello, hi. Because I'm silly like that. I like to make jokes of me time traveling. It is kind of time travel though. Like, really. Much less problematic than like standard time travel, right? No worry of like utterly ruining the future. So there's that. And as tedious as the leg of the sock is, I gotta say, the monotony is welcome after the day I've had. It's been very stressful. So hurrah. And hello, my other lurky Lou. I see you. It's okay. You don't have to say anything. It's fine. We're doing pretty good. We've almost made it. So the goal is to make it to an hour. Like, that's the minimum. And I have been having phone troubles all day, so I have not charged my phone quite as much as I wanted to. So I was really hoping that I was going to be able to get as close to an hour as possible, and it's looking pretty good. My phone has a little more, charge to it, and we've only got 18 minutes less. So that's pretty good. We did that. Now, obviously, ideally, we would just charge our phone like we're supposed to, but kind of have a lot going on today. So it is unbearably hot here. How is it over there, B? Is it also, oh dear God, hot? Or is it, a normal amount of hot? You don't have to tell me. I'm just making conversation. Perfectly fine. Don't you jump off that. Don't you do it. Stitches are trying to escape. I think the next colorway is going to be hideous. I'm going to be honest with you. I showed it to wife and she was like, oh, I think it's so pretty. And I'm like, you would. It's not looking real good in the skein, so I don't know what it's going to look like worked up. I feel like it's going to be weird blotchy stripes. I really hope my interview goes well tomorrow. I need it to. Need some good news. Good news would be great. I really hope the phone call that I missed but like heard about later also is good news. That'd be, just plain glorious. Honestly. Oh, I have to regale friend with what happened after I came from the gym. Somebody tried to verbally accost me, and I just absolutely, positively was like very single-minded in my conversation. I do not like to needlessly engage in conversation with strangers, and like yelling at me in public while I'm on my on a mission, not the way to get my attention. Yeah, I was having a very loud, angry conversation, and I was really hoping by the tension that was kind of rolling off me in waves that they would leave me alone, but they just said, hey, 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 like a dozen times. And I'm like, thinking to myself, are you kidding me? And then like, oh yeah, no, she's on the phone. And I'm like thinking, yes, I am. It's very, very glad that you noticed. Like, I was mad. I was mad about stuff. I had to catch wife up on like the whole debacle of this morning because she had gone off to work because my phone wasn't working. I did not, say good morning. And I actually did send her a message like on another platform to be like, hey, just FYI, I can't talk. But she's not super good at checking her text even, much less any other platform, which is fine. It was really just a by the way. But oh gravy. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to talk to friends about this because I gotta tell you, if I had reacted to being like verbally assaulted, I think it would have got ugly. And I was in my neighborhood, so I really don't want to start a kerfuffle wherein I'm probably going to run into it. Because, yeah, like I don't like strangers talking to me, particularly in public. Like I'm not what I would call friendly. Like my kind of immediate reaction to people is, why are you talking to me? What do you want? Please leave me alone. And I'm just not terribly social. I'm good. Like I don't mind talking to people, but like approach me respectfully, please, or get the hints. So I have no desire to entertain foolishness. And hollering at me, definitely what that is. Also, with the mood I was in, had I acknowledged the person who was yelling at me, quite literally, I would have done so in a less than complimentary manner. And I don't think they would have appreciated it. Not that I appreciated being yelled at by a stranger. Like, go away. Go away. Go away. Also, yeah. But say la vie. So, there it is. I wish it could be helped, but it seems that it really can't be. And I don't think that my addressing it would have helped, because I think I definitely would have been a condescending ass. I'm pretty sure about that. I don't take well to entitlement, so yeah, I have a pretty nasty reaction to that. And I mean, if you want to get in a row with me, okay. Hey, look, if that's how you want to live your life, sir, okie dokie, knock your socks off. Yeah, I've been really aggravated lately, particularly by the men folk. They keep approaching me in an unwise manner, and all it does is incite my ire. That's all it does. And that is unwise. Because if you motivate me to anger or irritation, I will act on it. As the vernacular goes, I will come at you. And most people, I don't know. I don't know if I don't look like the confrontational type. I'm like, I really am not. But I think me squaring off with people, I don't think that is the reaction that people expect. And so I think usually they're really not sure how to respond to it. And I mean, the best response is to back away and leave me alone. That's really probably the best response. That doesn't tend to be understood until it's far too late, at which point I'm generally hostile. Yes. So, speaking of that, all right, so Gumby, and we probably said this before, but whatever. Gumby is the service manager of the place that I work at. And he said to me, he's like, I wish I was more like you. And I looked at him and I'm like, first of all, be a female and you will have to be like this, right? And given the reactions that some people have to me, I know that he knew what I meant by that. But my follow-up to that was like, look, I'm not like this, necessarily because I want to be or because I enjoy it or anything like that. I'm like this because I have to be. And this does not win me any popularity contests or favors. Now, the good thing is I don't want any. I'm good. So I'm not upset if people don't like me from my brusque nature, because that's kind of the point. I don't want you to like me. I want you to leave me alone. And if I am of an unsavory nature, that'll do. That'll do, pig. So, yes. But I told him, I was like, the trade-off, because everything's got a trade-off, right? The trade-off is if you are like this, people are going to butt heads with you. And so you have to be prepared to kind of hold your own. Now, Gumby, bless his heart, is a nice, sweet man. I would say he's a young man, but he's actually older than I am. Only by a few years. But he's not soft-spoken, but he's not quick to anger. He's not gonna, get into a tiff with you. He's not gonna be, come at you or be aggressive or hostile. He's also not gonna be assertive. And so what will happen is he will mean, this is what I mean, and this is where I stand. But his manner of delivery of such information is such that people disregard it easily. That is not the reaction that I get, because I will look you dead in the face and tell you no, and dare you with my gaze to challenge me. Because I said no. I said no. And that no was a complete sentence. I did not stutter. I did not mean something other than what I said. And I am not negotiating with you. And there's a finality to my no. Now, again, what happens with this is, and this is, I think, where people get confused. My saying no is merely me saying that whatever it is, I'm not going to do. That's it. That's all. That is all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm not saying it doesn't need to be done. I'm not saying that I won't end up being the one doing it. I am just saying no. Like, I have no desire or inclination to do so. Like, if I have to, I have to. I mean, it happens, right? But I'm verily disinclined towards the action. And people don't know where they don't quite know how to take that, which I think is very odd. Because I guess, being the wonderful neurodivergent human that I am, I mean very specific things by what I say. And I'm very nuanced as an individual. And I'm a bit atypical in my way of handling things, neurodivergence and all. And as a result, that tends to like receive certain responses, which usually err along the lines of what? Like, people are confused. They're not sure how to react, which actually amuses me greatly, to be perfectly honest. Because all I can think to myself is, and I can tell you no, like, I can decline you, and I can manage a civil conversation with someone about it, but it throws people so much that they don't know what to do, and then they get flustered, and that's about where things can get kind of ugly. Which, again, so, like, I don't advise someone who does not have a stalwart personality or pretty thick skin to operate in the manner that I do, because you are gonna knock heads with people, and if you are not a hardy plant, that is going to be very uncomfortable for you. And you're probably going to put yourself through some stuff that you, in retrospect, will kind of wish you hadn't. So proceed with caution, yes. But, I said, I'm a fairly hardy plant, and I'm very steadfast, and so I do not have any problem holding my own. I also have an extremely high degree of apathy, so, when it comes down to brass tacks, I just really don't care. And because I really don't care, it's very hard to faze me. Like, I would prefer to be left alone. I would prefer to not be bothered, but I don't really feel some kind of way past that, which also usually tends to also confound people, which is also very strange to me. But hey, okay, whatever you say. Yeah, it's odd. Humaning is hard. Adulting is hard. Interacting with people who are fundamentally different than you, and I don't mean culturally speaking. I just mean their ways of being and existing, like on a deep cellular level, are like very different. That can just it's not a ride for the faint of heart, because it can be, honestly, kind of harrowing, like, really. And that's just, that's a lot for some people. And so, again, I don't recommend this to you if you're not like willing to kind of stand up for yourself and like put your money where your mouth is. If you're soft-hearted, or soft-spoken, or like of a sweet disposition, it might not be the uh, best course of action for you personally. Now, that's not to say I'm not a sensitive being. I absolutely have some soft spots. I just guard them very well because I know where they are and I know the results of like prodding at them. And I will absolutely protect myself because that's the smart thing to do, right? Right. So, bless his heart. I told him though that I'm like, I don't think that you need to change because I think Gumby's a good person. And I think it takes all kinds of people, you know, for things to like exist in harmony. Like we shouldn't all be brash and crass like myself. That would just be a lot. But we also shouldn't all be like quiet observers who kind of wait because you can wait too long. Just like I can rush in too quickly. Happy mediums, but also like a nice little smattering of different things because everybody has got something different to bring to the table, right? And that's helpful. There are things I am a tactless individual, so if we need tact for the situation, I am not the person to ask. We'll fail. So there we go. Now, or whoever finds themselves here with me, and whoever finds themselves watching this later, whether on demand on Twitch or YouTube. Thanks for popping in and hanging out with me and listening to me yammer and regale you with the utter awful adventures of my day and, my dissection of like people in general, because, that's what we do here. Talk about all kinds of weird stuff. I shall see you hopefully on the morrow, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at, the correct time, which is 7 Eastern, but I might move it to 8. I might move to 9 if need be. But so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and good night, and thank you for joining me. Toodles!